Hello, everybody. This is Anthony Bionis from Mission Start Podcast, and if you enjoy listening to us not only on the website but also on iTunes, be sure to check us out on Stitcher as well. Stitcher is an iPhone, Android app, also on other smartphones. You can download for free. And also registration is for free too. It's an app that you can listen to any podcast that is on there without ever downloading a file. When you register with Stitcher, be sure to put in promo code Mission Start or Conover or both, and you get to automatically be entered into a $100 prize every month from Stitcher. So be sure to check us out, support us, and we'll support you guys. Hello, everybody. This is Anthony Bionis from Mission Start Podcast. On this very tired day for me, I wake up only to realize I got a podcast about Katsucon. With me tonight is Liz. Hello.
Hi, everyone. Yes.
That long silence.
It's been a long day for me, too.
I hear ya. And Liz is here today to talk about her time at Katsucon, which you can also read on our website, her review of the convention. And I think what needs to be said, or what needs to be explained, is the title itself. Like, what happened?
Boy.
What happened at Katsucon?
All right. It seems like every force of nature was determined for me not to get to this convention.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot. This was a con that everybody was trying to get to, or like the weather was so bad that people had to not go this year.
Yeah, on the East Coast, we had a massive snowstorm. Well, we've had a lot of really snowy weather, really bad weather in general, but it's called so kindly Snowmageddon Part like 5 or something like that, because we've just had so many Snowmageddons this year. But where I live, we ended up I left Thursday morning around 6 a.m. and I was determined to get there. So my car has four-wheel drive, and I live in the mountains, so I have snow tires. Well, I had to shovel my car out of 12 inches of snow
Oh
just to get
wow!
out of Boone.
Damn.
And that's just something that just doesn't happen in North Carolina. So a lot of people had to miss day 0 because they just couldn't get there.
Hmm.
And it was all because of that snow. And my my adventures didn't stop there. We I we started out, we started driving, everything was great. Got stuck on I-81 in Virginia for 10 hours in gridlock. Didn't make it into the we left at 6 a.m. from my house. Keep in mind, we were supposed to get there at most like 6 o'clock that night, 5, 6, somewhere in there. We didn't get there until 8:30 a.m. of day 1.
Wow, that's crazy.
So,
Was the con still packed when you got there, or was
oh
it?
yeah, um it wasn't nearly as crowded last year just because so many people canceled and Greyhound had to cancel, and any flight that was connecting in the Charlotte area or the Raleigh area or even in Atlanta, anywhere in the South, you couldn't get there. So, because I had a friend who was supposed to work in the dealer's room and she didn't get there until Saturday because her flight got delayed so much. But
I see.
so it wasn't nearly as many people, but it was still packed.
Wow. Okay. Um. So the other thing that was in your title, the part of it was people were getting sick too.
Yeah, well, I fortunately didn't get sick. Everyone in my room got sick though.
Wow,
And
you're very lucky.
yes, especially we had some adventures where we were passing around a bottle on
Mm,
Saturday night, and so that's how they all got sick. But I, by some miracle, didn't.
mm.
And another, but because everyone just thought it was just like, oh, super con plague, some crazy mess. Well, turns out there was a outbreak of H1N1
No way.
that
Oh
happened,
shit.
and the I think it was the co-director of the con. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong. It's someone on staff, like the director or co-director. His wife actually died from it
No,
a few weeks later.
no way. Are you serious?
Yeah, it
Oh
was.
shit. Wow.
It was. It was crazy because someone posted about it in the convention group when it happened, and I'm just like, no, what? Because they also have a GoFundMe account set up for all of her hospital bills because the family really got hit hard. So, in my review, I put a link to it if anyone like feels in their heart to help this family out because we're all con people. So
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's nuts to think about. What what do you think triggered the sickness? Like,
someone came. Well, okay, this is a rumor, but it's pretty much been confirmed as true. Someone came to the con with H1N1, and then it just spread like wildfire from there.
wow. That's nuts.
And con staff actually tried to get them to leave, but they wouldn't leave. So
Wow. That's crazy. Uh
just anyone, if you're going to a con and you feel sick, please stay home.
yeah. I mean, like, I will admit myself that I didn't go by this rule. I went to one convention sick as a dog one year. I came out great. Like, after the convention was over, I
Yeah.
felt great. Like, I got better as the days went on. But at the end of the convention, my entire room full of friends got sick. The week after, I was like, oh, sorry guys. But
It's
yeah,
like, whoops, my bad.
yeah. But that's crazy to think about. Wow. Aside from that though, how was Katsucon? Just like as far as compared to other years.
Yeah, personally, I thought it was a lot better last year, and a lot of people have had the same experience because this year they were trying something new with the schedule. They didn't release the schedule until 2 days before, and then they put it on a iPhone app that you had to download called Guidebook. Well, you can get it on Android too, but
Hmm.
and so you had to access the schedule from that. And if you didn't have a smartphone, you were out of luck until you got to the con and could find the paper schedule. And that caused a lot of conflict. And I know I was waiting on panels to see if panels would get accepted, and they didn't let they let some panelists know months in advance if theirs got accepted or not. Some people didn't find out until 2 days before the con that their panel had been accepted. And then others, they gave the option if you were on the wait list, you could get one of the like 4 a.m. Time schedules, but you didn't find out until the schedule came out until only if you got one of those spots. And so I'm just sitting around literally packing, going, what cosplays do I even pack? What panels am I in? What is going on? And that caused a lot of frustration. And
Right, right.
just there was a lot of drama with the schedule because they scheduled well, this is a personal story, but they scheduled my I had friends hosting two panels. Well, all of the cast for that panel was also in an Attack on Titan panel that was being hosted, and they were at the exact same time.
Hmm.
And so they were trying to cancel the Attack on Titan panel, but they canceled the other panel instead. And so, but didn't tell them that they canceled the other panel. So they all came ready in their cosplays to do this panel. And then they're just like, this isn't the panel that's on the list. And they're just like, no, we're doing this panel. You don't understand. We talked to them in advance. And it was so much drama.
Wow.
Ugh.
That's nuts. Wow. Because it's funny. It's a total 180 from the last time I talked to you about Katsucon about last year. Um,
It's still a wonderful con. I will still go back. It's just
I
a
know.
lot of drama with scheduling that left kind of a bad taste in my mouth. So
Right. Like exactly what happened? Like why exactly was there miscommunication and why the
I I think it's because of the new system they were using
uh
and the fact that all of the snow stuff was coming in and everything was so uncertain, even about a week before the con, because everyone was just a lot of people were thinking the con was going to get canceled because they're calling for 14 inches of snow and everybody's like the con's like no, the con must go on. And you know that would be my guess, that there were so many uncertainties coming in. So
I see. Wow. But the convention did happen and
yeah.
everything went as proceeded or as much as they could be.
Yeah.
Um as far as when you got there, how were the people like because a lot of people were coming from different areas of the US.
Hmm.
Some were coming nearby, some come as far as California and other places. What was their reaction as far as like getting there and blazing through the storm to get to the con?
um the people were wonderful as always. I especially like the people at Katsucon. I've met some of my closest friends from that con actually, but I did end up talking to someone who had come down from Canada, and they were kind of laughing about the whole situation because they're just like, oh, snow, haha, yeah. But people from California, just they weren't used to this kind of weather, and so there was a lot less cosplays that were revealing this year just because it was so snowy and so cold. So
I can
I thought
imagine.
that was an interesting change since last year it was pretty warm. I was walking around in a mini skirt and was comfortable. So
Interesting. Um, just out of curiosity, because
hmm.
of the snow and what was going on, was anybody dressed up from Frozen?
Don't talk to me about the Frozen cosplayers. There are so many of them. I think this con should have been nicknamed Frozen, the Frozen Attack on Titan con. I
Wow, that's it's funny. I could imagine so many just because of what's happening at that con.
yeah. There was actually, okay. Do you know the movie The Incredibles?
Yes.
Okay, the character Frozone, or
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that's how.
yeah, yeah.
There was a cosplay of him, and there was there's a picture of this little Anna cosplayer going like, "Do you want to build a snowman?" He's just like, "I am a grown ass man," and I remember seeing those two walking around, and I never thought that picture would occur, but just looking back, I'm just like, that's beautiful. Thank you for taking that picture.
That is awesome. Oh my god, if I would have saw that, I'd be laughing my ass off. um, that's cool. As far as as far and for people who don't know, Katsucon is it's always held in the Gaylord Hotel in excuse me about the burp.
National Harbor, Maryland.
Right. And this is what number is this for them? Like
20.
wow, 20 years. That's crazy. Um, just
They actually haven't had a snow like this for this con since I think I read it was Katsucon 2003, 2004, something like that, where they had so much snow come in that weekend that cosplayers couldn't get out of the hotel. And so the they had an they had a joke saying that there was an after con.
that's awesome. Um, now, uh, I would think that nothing has really much changed from previous years as far as like where everything was located, the game room, the video room, the gatherings and whatnot. Um, was there any? I mean, aside from the mess up schedule with the panels, was there any else happening in the schedule or things that you kind of you hear about that were having difficulties for the con?
Um, there was registration was, well, of course it's going to be long lines and it's going to be a nightmare for a con that big. But um for when my friends and I got there at 8:30, they went immediately into the the pre-reg line to pick up their stuff, and they didn't get out of the pre-reg line until 4 hours later because there was only one person working the desk.
Jesus, one person? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
They
That's
they luckily fixed it later in the day, and they fixed it for day 2, but that morning, just forget about it.
I feel your pain in so many ways. Did you hear what happened at Banime this last year?
LineCon?
Yep, it was awful. The reason why I had to go into it is because I was gonna sell stuff at the swap
Hmm.
meet, and usually as you know as press I don't have to worry about that kind of thing. But because I was a vendor, I had to buy a 1 day pass just to sell stuff on that Friday,
Yeah.
and I had to wait in line. It took me 6 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, people waited longer than I did. I was like, how the no, this yeah.
I mean, I went for Otakon even. I got there Thursday night, and I think I waited about an hour and a half in the line to get my badge. But Otakon is a convention with like 33,000 people. It's expected you're going to be in line for like 4 or 5 hours. Katsucon is about, it's still large, but it's only about half that size. I would expect like 2, 3 hours at most. But
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's crazy. Um, how was how was the staff by the way? Like amongst all this.
staff was wonderful and friendly as always. Um I thought I lost my camera at one time, and
Mm.
the poor guy working at the um Conops desk, there it is, thank you. The Conops desk he tried everything he could to help me remember where it was. He helped me file a report, and he took down my number and stuff, and he did everything in his power and even then some. So I really respect him for that because their job's hard enough as it is. And um every staff person that I encountered was, well, they were stressed out, but they were friendly at least. So
Mm.
I mean, I have no complaints about the staff. So
Okay, awesome. It's great to hear that they keep a level head throughout its
yeah.
entire mess. But that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Um, were you able to check out any gatherings when you were there at the con?
Wait, like cosplay gatherings?
Yes.
Okay. Um I I stopped by a couple of them actually. The My friend, well, okay, more like friends. A bunch of them were doing Attack on Titan. I have not gotten mine together. I've had the leather for that jacket sitting in my room for 6 months, but anyway, we're not going to talk about that. So they actually had the coolest place to do their cosplay gathering, right on the few blocks around the convention center and hotel. There are these hands that stick up out of the ground and have sand around them.
Oh no
That's
way.
where that's where they had theirs, and they were taking pictures of it, like looking up and like just around the giant hands, and it looked like Titan hands, and it was so cool.
Nice. Awesome.
Um, Italia Gathering was a nightmare. Homestuck was a nightmare, but
Well, that's what goes without saying.
yeah, yeah. Let's see, the Resident Evil Gathering. That I've never been to that one, but I had two friends that were cosplaying from that, and they were down by the fountains, and the fountains started shooting up because it was kind of towards night.
Mhm.
It gave such a cool feeling to it. It was ah, and there were so many just amazing cosplayers there.
Awesome. Yeah, it's funny how things kind of turn out in some circumstances where like you're doing a photo shoot or he's doing it together,
Hmm.
and like this cool thing happens so behind it. Like, oh hey, this actually works. All right, let's do
Yeah.
this. But that's good to hear. Speaking of cosplays, what stood out to you when you were there, aside from the whole Frozen, like costumes all around?
um, there, of course, this year the two life basically I don't want to say life size, but 10-foot tall Transformer cosplays, they were back again this year. And so when they passed me, I was just like, it's Bumblebee! Bumblebee's back! And any of the Attack on Titan cosplayers who bothered to make the 3D gear,
Hmm.
that really stuck out to me because those things are heavy. And
Well, depends on how you make them. Is their thing too.
okay, good point. But
Hmm.
they're bulky too, so
Yeah, that's
I
true.
I was I was really impressed by the number of formal ball gown cosplays I saw
Really.
because the formal ball was Friday, which that had scheduling conflicts too. So I made a gown for that but didn't even go because there was so much scheduling drama. I just didn't think it was worth it at that point. But cuz um there I think it was It's like Fiona from Adventure Time, I think it was. I saw a formal one of her, and it was the coolest thing ever because I've never seen anyone do that like that particular version because it wasn't her usual like poofy white dress that she wears in the show. Like it was literally based on her actual like canon outfit with like two tones and stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, that's really ingenious. So people were getting really creative this con.
Mm. Wow, awesome. Um, that's good to hear. I always love the creativity when it comes to conventions, and cosplayers do. Sometimes the best cosplays are the most original,
Yeah.
and it's really cool too, how they do it. So, um, but yeah, that's good to hear. Um, Despite the entire mess of the panels, were you able to attend any of them, regardless of the schedule being messed up as it was?
Um, I did. I tried as many as I could. Um, I waited for a very, very long time for the Funimation industry panel,
Mm-hmm.
then ended up not even getting to go to it. You know, things happen. But um, there were there was one very well done Attack on Titan panel that I really thought was wonderful. Um, let's see. A lot of people were complaining that I think there was a Homestuck panel or something. There was a lot of people complaining saying that it's not anime related. Why is this here? And you know, there's a lot of things that were not anime related that were there, but
Mm-hmm.
I personally like that stuff. But cosplay burlesque.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh right, was that's
I
right. I sort of forgot about that. That was the thing that's happening.
mhm.
Yeah.
I had I'd had someone who'd gone last year and absolutely loved it. And I'd seen videos online because they were at Otakon as well, and I didn't get to go to Otakon. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go this year. And that was pretty amazing. If anyone ever has a chance to see the cosplay burlesque performers under the cosplay burlesque name, you should definitely go see it.
You know what's funny is that just out of curiosity, was one of the performers was her name Stella Chu or just Stella it started with C at the for her last name. She was an Asian. I can't remember which one she cosplayed as.
Oh,
Um,
see, I would have known by the cosplay. I didn't really pay attention to the performer names. So.
oh, okay, gotcha. It might be the same person I'm thinking of, but um, there's this cosplayer that I noticed on Facebook, and I kind of caught eye that she was doing
Mhm.
cosplay burlesque, and I like the closest thing to burlesque that is out there is maybe cosplay deviants, but that's a whole nother thing.
Hmm.
And I never seen it in action. And I saw a couple clips on YouTube about cosplay burlesque, and it looked like everybody was having fun. Like it wasn't a given the fact that they were undressing, but like they were still covering up the most important parts.
Yeah, of course.
But it was all for fun. And I saw that I heard that they had one at Anime LA and they're doing one at Otacon and for Katsucon as well. Was this your first time watching or
It was. I'd seen the clips on YouTube, so.
awesome? What what acts or what exactly did they did in the show?
Okay, so um there was there was they actually had like a little model of the gazebo up there
Hmm.
that the performers would actually interact with, and so I thought that was pretty fun because there was all this hoopla about the gazebo coming up there, and I was just like, oh haha, they played on that. But um hang on a sec. Okay, sorry.
Not right.
But there was okay, so I kind of got a kick out of this. They had a guy who was dressed up as Aaron Yeager,
Hmm.
and as he was doing the undressing and thing, it was as if he was going into his Titan form. And so at the end, he's just like standing up there with flush-colored underwear, pretend just pretending like he's gonna come out into the audience in his and like tear shit up, and I'm just like, that is so perfect.
That is awesome. um, I assume the ladies were enjoying the show with.
Oh, of course. I think
But it's all
even when it was a male performer or when it was a female performer, the audiences had such a good reaction, and all the performers, even if they were just standing on stage, it was still a lot of like audience interaction and stuff because they'd like look at you and like point and stuff, and so I had a wonderful experience. So I'd
awesome.
do it. I'd do it again.
Okay. I definitely have to go check it out next if I get the chance when it comes over here again.
Mhm.
Um, it's it's interesting. I cosplay is becoming a thing where it's not only just a hobby, but it can extend to many other things. And this is just one of them. So it's like, huh. I said, that's interesting
Yeah.
yet cool at the same time. I like
And
to.
I like how it's more than just stripping, basically. Like all the acts told a story based on their characters in their own kind of sort of way.
Hmm. Right. Um, yeah, it is definitely awesome to hear. Um, was there anything else you checked out, panels or event wise, when you were there?
Um, Not especially. Nothing was. I was disappointed by a lot of the panel variety this year. The fact that there was 4 Attack on Titan panels in one day. Um, so I think one thing I talked about last year too was the panel variety, but honestly, that's not entirely the con's fault. It's what people submit to do. So
Right.
I'm just really sad I didn't get to see the Funimation industry panel. I wanted to go to that so bad.
Funny. Um, that's cool though. Were you able to check out the game room when you got bored? Or what exactly did you do on your downtime, like in between panels, or you just had time for yourself?
I I checked out the dealer's room. I went by the game room. I checked out the artist alley some, and then I was doing I was doing photo shoots a lot of the time as well, and then just when I wasn't doing that, it was a lot of, oh, I can finally see my friends who live up north that I never get to see. So,
That's cool. Anything particularly different this year than last year in the dealer's room?
a lot more Attack on Titan stuff. A lot of Sword Art Online, which I thought it started to die out some, but oh, and there was a weapons booth this year,
Hmm.
which I went by there. I didn't buy anything. Everything was very expensive, but everything was very well made, and um you couldn't walk around with them at the con
I
because there was a lot of live steel, which is not allowed, of course, but
Yeah.
it was nice, high quality stuff. I mean,
Was it the first time that Katsucon had something like that?
um, maybe I didn't see anything last year like that, but
Interesting. Hmm.
because I
Interesting.
because I've seen them at some cons before, but most cons don't allow live steel, so I've not a lot of cons have like weapons booths like that and stuff. So
Hmm.
at least the ones I've been to,
Interesting.
but I've been to a lot of smaller cons as well. So
That's true too. Interesting. And you said there's a lot more Attack on Titan stuff.
oh, of course,
Hmm.
a lot of the new popular anime that was out.
I see. Gotcha. Um, yeah, it's funny about you mentioned Sword Art Online just because like, hey, the trailer for the second season and that's gonna be pretty popular again.
Yeah,
um, it's funny how it's just funny how each fandom is kind of like recycling itself a bit right now.
yeah, they all seem to come. Stuff comes in waves,
Yeah,
because every con there's always this one cosplay that seems to just like
dominant.
boom
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, yeah.
I joke around saying, "Oh, what's gonna be the new Naruto for this con?"
And it was Frozen, which is ironic, it's because like it's not an anime, but it's it happened.
The cold never bothered them anyway.
Oh God.
That's why they got to this con.
uh,
All
yeah.
the snow made for wonderful photo shoots, though.
Oh
So
yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. Um, yeah, it's funny because like you know what like right now I can tell you the next big wave of like cosplayers is I mean aside from Attack on Titan and Sword Art Online, it's gonna
Kill
be
la Kill. There
yes.
was a lot of Kill la Kill there.
Oh, was there?
I was very pleasantly surprised.
Now my question um now did what from each costume that each character like wore as far as was there a wide variety of different outfits for each character or was there one particular outfit that kind of dominated the others?
Um, with Ryuko, I
Hmm.
think that's how you pronounce her name at least. It was the black outfit that she wears, which a lot of people had to modify it, of course, because you get kicked out of the con for showing that boobiage. But
Hmm.
there was a lot of that one. Um, there was a lot of Senketsu.
Oh
Her,
really? No way.
yeah, because um and even there were some adorable little Makos there, and I'm just like, you're so cute. Let me take your picture. But the oh my gosh, I haven't gotten this far in Kill la Kill. I started it and then I put it down. But the the guy from Nudist Beach with the blue hair, I
Oh
saw
yeah.
several of him, and I have a friend who actually cosplayed as him. And then there was one I saw that actually had the glowing nipples.
How did he pull it off?
Um, it was actually just like glow paint.
No way, glow paint. But isn't that kind of hazardous though?
Possibly,
Yeah,
possibly.
because I know that it's like I know one time I remember seeing the friend break open a glow stick and like
Hmm.
it was on his like skin or on his
Yeah,
but it's not supposed to be.
yeah.
Yeah,
See, because they make actual acrylic paint that glows,
I see. Huh.
and oh gosh, I hope he didn't put glow stick stuff right on his bare nipples. Ouch! Um, but no, I asked him. He said it was paint, so I'm assuming just like normal acrylic paint. So,
That's interesting, huh? But
and then
hmm.
there was one person that did it, but you can only see his at night because he used like actual glow in the dark paint. And
Uh,
so I guess he had done it during the day. I don't know, but
I see.
during the night his nipples were glowing, which was pretty cool. But
That's interesting. Oh man, I'm really impressed sometimes on how people manage to pull off things that are like unhumanly possible. Um, I am curious, but doesn't get you cosplayers like
hmm
how were they like exactly how were they dressed? Was it like a did you take a human form as it gets you, or was like the uniform and then they just were like a black like spandex to kind of hide themselves in a way?
um, it what what I saw was like an actual uniform and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean,
Interesting. Okay, but that's cool though. That's really awesome. I definitely enjoy like how each person creates the same costume in a different way
yeah,
or have an idea how to do it. So that's pretty cool. Um, but yes, Kill la Kill will be like the next wave if it isn't already. For I'd say a good couple
yeah.
months. Yeah.
The one I was disappointed I never saw was Harme, the little
Oh
she looked the little Lolita girl,
yeah.
the evil Lolita girl. I wanted to see her really bad, and I didn't see anyone.
A friend of mine actually is making her costume for Fanime, so I
Oh,
I will
that's exciting.
I will take pictures. But yeah. Um,
She's actually one of my favorite characters because she's cute and she's evil, so you don't see that often.
yep. I'm gonna refrain from saying anything about her, but yeah.
Okay.
um,
Probably a good idea.
yeah. But that's cool. That's awesome. Um, where is there? Was there anything that stood out to you when you were there? As far as like any random moment or like any particular like thing that happened in front of you, and it's just like did like make you question yourself a little bit.
Hmm. I mean, the fact that when I lost my camera, I went back to the exact same location an hour later and no one had touched it made my day.
No
So
way. That is interesting.
I, because I went to do because I went to go, because I had a private shoot of my cosplay book, so I went to go do that, and then I realized afterwards I didn't have it. So then I went by ConOps to fill out the report, and I was just like, well, what if I just go back to location? No, it won't be there. Gosh, just do it anyway. And I did it, and I found it, and I almost started crying because I'm just like, there are good people in this world.
Yeah, that is surprising to hear. I definitely get I definitely get sometimes where like you're at a con and like you lose something and usually that stuff be gone. Like at a convention,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's like it's not a given thought, but
Yeah, I mean, I misplaced my debit card and someone stole my debit card and racked up $130 at Anime Weekend in Atlanta, so I thought that thing was gone.
mm-hmm. But that's good to hear. There are good people within the con scene
Yeah.
sometimes. um, okay. Um, did you what was there anything else that you did you manage to check out um before ending the con? I guess for yourself or kind of when you were there.
Checked out the bar.
Was it open bar or was there
No, there was. They actually closed the bar early.
oh
All
right.
3 nights because um, I think everyone had the same logic as me. I earned this drink. I worked hard to get here. I'm gonna have this. And but cosplayers are not exactly known to be the quietest drunks or the not rowdy drunks, and some dumb Attack on Titan cosplayer actually drunkenly jumped. Okay, so let me tell you about the balconies and the stairs in the Gaylord.
Okay.
Very, very high. This person jumped from at least 30 feet in the air.
Jesus.
From the top, basically the top floor to the next level down, and landed on a table and broke both of their ankles.
Ooh, damn. Wow. Wow. That's yeah.
I sind das Essen und wir die ouch.
That yeah, that's a drunk person for you.
Yeah, and so and just drunk people were tearing up everything, and so the bar closed at midnight each day because of that. Because they were tearing down the exit signs, and someone dyed the pool red,
How
and the pool had to be drained.
how do you manage that? Like,
I have no clue.
did you like
Like, that's a lot of food coloring.
was like the person who like was wearing a wig or was in body paint, was that does that cause it, or like did they intentionally have like, oh,
Like,
I got red dye in my pocket, let me just pour it out.
I'm actually not quite sure. I hope it was an accident, but I'm pretty sure it was done on purpose, just someone being stupid.
Wow, interesting.
Luckily,
Hmm.
as far as I know, there were no body paint incidents this year. There was no setting the con on fire. So, so that was good.
I see. Well, with all the cold out, I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah, true.
um, okay, but the convention managed to survive one way or
Oh
another.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that was the reason. That was the reasoning behind. There was a really big rumor going around that, well, the Gaylord upped their prices anyway, and so everybody was looking at the price for staying at the Gaylord next year. But it was before the convention discount, and a rumor started that they weren't going to give us the convention discount because everyone was such drunken idiots this convention go around, and which it wasn't true. The Katsucon actually released a statement on their Facebook page a few days later denying everything. So,
hmm,
so we will still get the convention discount. So we must not have done totally bad.
right. At this pace, though, it's kind of looking like, well,
It's getting there though.
yeah, it's getting to the point where it's like they have to like, all right, you guys have done enough damage to this hotel. We're gonna,
They were already kicked out of their last venue.
yeah. Um, interesting. Um,
Katsucon also has a reputation for being. It's like Dragon Con. It's Party Con.
that's my type of convention, actually. I will, I like I said prior past, I will venture off to the East Coast one of these days for a convention, which it will happen in due time.
Hmm.
PAX is this year for me. Next year it's gonna be Dragon Con. The year after that,
Yes, Dragon Con. I want
yeah,
to go to Dragon Con, but Dragon Con's so expensive.
I know, but I want to go. It's so awesome. Um,
I'm trying to venture out your way actually this summer for an anime expo. So.
oh right, you were actually coming over here to our
Hmm.
side. I the only advice I would give you is that wear light clothing or light cosplays. It will get very hot over here.
Yeah.
Um, there will be tons and tons of cosplayers as far as the eye can see. AX is the most attended convention in California, and I think in the United
Wow.
States.
Wow.
Yeah, so there'll be no shortage of any cosplays. But yeah, you have a blast, no doubt. Um, but overall, what are your thoughts? What do you think of Katsucon this year?
I think it was a fluke that all these bad things happened, and cons go through good years, they go through bad years, but they always learn in the end what mistakes were made and how to grow from them. So it's still one of my favorite cons just because location, the people, the staff are always friendly. I've been to some cons where the staff was absolutely horrendous. So it's always a plus when you have really nice staff. And so I'd go again.
That's
I'd
good.
recommend it.
That's good to hear.
It's Katsucon's a really good size because Otakon, while I did have fun, it was massive and it stressed me out, and I didn't feel that stress, but I also got to meet a lot more people than I would have at a tiny con. So
I see. Okay. It's good to hear for sure. What is it set for next year? What is it? Was there any dates that was released for next year's commission?
um well, it's always the weekend of Valentine's Day, so
Oh, I didn't know
we
that. Huh. Interesting. Hmm. Man, if I were to go, oh,
which Valentine's Day, according to my calendar, is the second week in February on a Saturday, so it'll be the 13th through 16th.
I see. If I were to go, I would have to give my mom the biggest present ever before I go because her birthday is on Valentine's weekend. So
Oh.
I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
um, but that's good to hear. And thank you for coming tonight to this podcast to talk about Katsucon.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Um, and to check out, I cannot talk tonight. It's been a long day already. Um, but where Liz, where can they find you on the internet?
Okay, I actually I don't no longer do my cosplay page, so my photography page is actually the easiest way to find me, which is facebook.com/it's a snap by Liz. Just all lowercase, so.
Cool, awesome. Um, you can also find much of her work and our work on our site at mishaps.podcast.com. Please do check out her review of Katsucon on our website, where it goes much more into detail as far than what we had talked about tonight on this podcast. But yeah, check it out. Check out all the cool content we have on the site. Please do check out all the new stuff coming out pretty soon. Now that I'm officially on spring break, yay! I have more time to work on stuff. But yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Defective Naruto. Um, yeah, and also be sure to subscribe to iTunes and on Stitcher, and share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Anyways, thank you again, Liz, and we'll see you guys next time.